Hey HCDA and welcome back to Against the Storm. Last time around we set up a pretty decent starting little village. We have access to a farm now. We actually are able to build another farm over here. And we just got some new orders to complete. So let's check those out. We have an order over here where we apparently can pick between exploring 4 glades or making some planks, bricks and fabric. Both of these actually seem pretty reasonable. They're both pretty straightforward as well. What I like about this one is that we'll get some clay and leather, neither of which we can produce right now by ourselves. On the other hand, simple tools, parts, etc. are very useful for actually building stuff. Yeah. Not entirely sure which direction to go in, to be honest. Although we probably want to explore the glades anyway. This doesn't actually cost anything. So let's go for the kind of like high risk, high reward one, and then let's check out the other one. This is having 50 paths, which is really straightforward. Okay, and this is having 35 mushrooms, and this will give us a huge amount of harpies. Oh man. It will actually buff our coat production. This is really valuable. This gives us 1 free coat every time we produce coats. And it'll actually give us a lot of coats as well. How are we doing on Harpy Resolve? I mean, it's by far the lowest from all our units, but they are also pretty easy to get to a high resolve place. So this might be the wrong pick, but I'm actually gonna go for the mushrooms. Now we can see if we can cheat a little bit. Well, it's not cheating, but can we actually buy mushrooms from this trader? No. Okay, so I was actually intending to just simply buy a lot of mushrooms and do it like that, but unfortunately that's not gonna work. However, let's see. We do have those buffs over here. The copper bar production is looking very inviting as well, just because we have so much copper, or if we can actually make the copper bars at some point, this will be a huge buff. We actually have some resources. And 10% faster movement speed is actually not the worst thing either. So I'm just actually gonna buy both of those and see where that gets us. No point in sitting on all that money. And yeah, let's see. We also have a new cornerstone. This is going to give us 2 artifacts if we explore 2 dangerous or forbidden glades. It says dangerous and forbidden glade events, actually events, so that's important. I'm gonna assume this is and or. And let's see, fulfill education, which we currently have no way of doing. So since we might want to start exploring these glades anyway, because we also need that ancient tablet, I'm just going to go for this one. And the artifacts, by the way, are a currency that we can use to upgrade our Smoldering City. So it's pretty useful to have that. And we also have some new people who want to join us. And considering we have a second farm waiting to be built, let's go for the humans, since, well, beavers are interesting as well, but I think we are pretty good on track with our humans so far. They're pretty flexible. Now we also have access to some new blueprints. Yes, a lot of new exciting stuff happening right now. So let's see. We probably want a clothier. Clothier? Clothier? Is this like French? Or I'm not sure how to pronounce this. But it can make coats at a 3-star rating. Now I'm kind of wishing we picked the other order where we got the code production. Anyway, let's just go for that. Or did we actually pick that one? Let me check. Now I want to know. Did we pick the one with the codes? Yes, we did. Yes, nice. Okay, sorry. And then let's go back to the blueprints. What are we getting? A forager's camp, trapper's camp. None of this sounds very interesting. Do we have anything that can collect meat already? Not entirely sure, because we do. Otherwise, I'm inclined to go for the herb garden, just so we can actually get the herbs from the farm fields. Let me check. Do we have anything that can collect herbs or meat? No. Do I have anything that can actually do something with meat? I actually don't think so. Which means that we should probably pick up the... I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna go for the herb garden. Okay. So let's see, let's continue on. What do we want? We need some mushrooms, we need an ancient tablet, and we need to explore some glades. So that means that rather than clearing this whole entire area out, which we are doing right now, we probably want to lower the speed for one, and secondly move this over here. Somewhere over here? Let's see, where does it fit? There we go. This looks fine. And let's start working towards this glade, and then we can get to the other one after that. What else? I don't think we have much else to do other than making sure that we are actually producing some things. Let's assign a few people here. We might actually want to build a herb garden here. Now the herb garden, just like the farm, can actually use the farm fields. It's gonna be one or the other. For now, I actually think we don't have really anything to do with these herbs, so let's just make another small farm over here with a nice road like this. Actually, not everything is in reach if we build it over here. So I'm actually going to clear these out, for which we do actually need the woodcutter. It's not a major thing to speed this up, but there are actually more fields over here than we can currently reach with this building. So we do need to kind of move it up into this corner at some point, but for now it will work over here. And let's jump ahead a little bit. Okay, so I skipped time a little bit, and now we have a little farm here over here producing some more items. I upgraded our road to a rocky road. A stone road, I should say, but the rocky road sounds way more delicious, and that will actually allow us to move a lot faster across this road. I decided to do so since we now have a stonecutter's camp as well. We're producing a little bit of stone here, so we might as well make use of that. Now what I've also done is I built the clothier as well as the leatherworker, and that means that we do not want to make any more fabric in the crude workstation, because of course this will take 6 materials to make 2, and at the leatherworker we can make 3 materials into 2, so it's twice as effective. Now, I think it's still fine to use everything for this, but remember, we are making some clothing over here, and the same goes for this building. And our harpy likes working with clothing, so might as well make it here. And this is a 3-star recipe, so we can actually use 1 fabric to make 10 coats. Yeah, that's going to be a huge boost in our production, and we definitely want to make as many as we can from those. And that means we also want to prioritize making fabric over anything else over here. I think we should be fine just having 1 person assigned here. Now, what else? We have an exclamation mark over here because these guys are idle. That's because we're not making enough grain. This is not the most effective recipe, 7 grain into 10 flour. And it's also not the highest priority at the moment because we don't actually have anything to do with that flour. We also have some newcomers awaiting for us. Not entirely sure if we want them at this point, but let's see what we can get. Oh, interesting, we have some more harpies. 5 people is a lot though. I think we should be able to handle that, and having 3 harpies is actually really nice, because what we then can do is we can assign a harpy here as well. Another harpy, and which building was it? This one. And another harpy over here. Not entirely sure that we need that many harpies, but at least they'll be happy because they get to work in a place where they want to work. And that leaves us with a lot of other people actually. So let's see. Do we have any other places where we want to assign someone? We might as well just assign someone to this harvester camp as well. We definitely have more people than we need at the moment, but we should probably not have to focus on getting any more for a little while. But let's make sure they have something to do. We also get to pick another cornerstone. Generous gifts to wealthy settlements attract wealthy settlers. Newcomers bring 40% more goods. I probably should have picked that before I just accepted the newcomers. Well-rested workers, just the right amount. Villagers with the leisure need fulfilled have a 10% chance for double yields. We currently have no way of fulfilling either of those. We are likely to pick up more newcomers at some point. But I'm actually going to go for this one because we might be able to unlock a building soonish that can where we can actually brew like beer or something like that. We already have grain and stuff like that, so if we can, we should probably go for that. And we are going to get a lot more blueprints at this point, so let's just go with this one and hope it will be useful at some point. Now the next thing I want to do is clear out some of these trees so we have a little bit more room to work with, and then we also definitely need to build some more housing because we now have 5 unhoused people, which is not making them any more happy. And from that point on, I want to get access to this dangerous glade. Even though this thing seems larger than this one, I don't think it's actually more dangerous. The main reason for that being is that will hopefully allow us to unlock the ancient tablet, and will also help us progress towards the 4 glades that we need, and that should allow us to get a little bit more reputation going. The other glades are probably going to be these 2 over here, at least, well, maybe these 2. That might be a little bit more efficient. Depending a little bit on how this glade turns out. So let's work on that first and see where it takes them. Okay, so we have our dangerous glade unlocked. And what do we have here? Well, we have a lot of wheat fields, so we are going to be able to produce a lot of more clothing. We are actually already starting to produce a lot of clothing at the moment. As you can see over here, we have these 2, well, actually not these 2, these 2 working on clothing. As you can see, 10 each. This is a huge, huge, huge amount. I can't stress that enough. And slowly but surely, all our people are getting clothed. We are nowhere near the maximum bonus. As you can see, if we have everyone dressed in clothing, we should be able to get up a +5 bonus, which is huge. And we're only at a +1 over here and at a +2 over here. And all in all, that should work very well. But the dangerous event also has a Forsaken Crypt. Now this will burn our amber and wine storage in 10 minutes if we don't do something about this. It will also give us an impatience point, which is not a good thing. And if we start working on this, we will get the robbed debt, and that will actually give us a -2 global resolve for every 10 amber we have stored. I don't think we currently actually have a lot of amber, but yeah, we definitely need to take that into account, but we do have a nice buffer at the moment. We can decide what to send here. The only thing we actually have are the simple tools, so that's probably going to be what we're going to send. And then we can pick between either keeping it, get a reputation point and a lot of amber, or get a chest of ancient tablets, which is going to be 5 ancient tablets, which is going to be enough to complete our order over here. We only need 1 for that, but hey, I'll take 5. We're also going to get a lot of copper bars and scrolls, as well as a buff that will apparently give us 3 incense for every 10 roots we produce. Now, this is not necessarily something I'm actively looking for, but it's a pretty nice bonus because incense is hard to produce, and, well, we could have used it here. So, that's a thing we can do. We also have 2 other events over here. We have a large abandoned cache, which we can use to get a lot of items or get a reputation point and some amber. Both of those seem very enticing, but we'll need more simple tools on top of what we already need. And then we have also a big encampment where we can bring some food. So that should actually be pretty straightforward. And we can either get a lot of people or just 15 amber. So this is probably just going to be straight up amber for us. And we are going to have to work on that. But first things first, let's start working on the simple tools. Now we also have a few new orders to pick from. One of them, hey, look, ancient tablets. This is actually very handy. Either that or make sure we have 10 villagers with the leisure fulfilled. Now, this is something we probably would want to work towards, but we can't for the moment. That will actually unlock the cellar for us, which will let us produce wine. That could be interesting. Although, yeah, not entirely sure. I'm inclined to go for this one just because it's going to be a guaranteed completion. And then the other one, let's see, what do we get? 14 clothing. Well, that should be very straightforward. This will buff our leather production as well as buff our coats production, which we are going to be doing anyway. So this seems kind of straightforward. Either that or fulfill religion, get a lot of ancient artifacts. This is actually really huge because this will give us a huge bonus to global resolve. Interesting. And we'll actually buff our grain production as well, which could be huge considering what we're doing. We just don't have any way of actually doing this. So I'm just going to go for the safe bet again. Typically, it's completely up to you, of course, but typically just going for the safe option is a good thing. There might be complicated options in here that we struggle to complete, and we do need to actually get to that maximum amount of reputation, and we don't have infinite time to do so. Now, let's see. We have a trader over here, and the trader actually has simple tools. It also has the bakery. Ooh, the bakery. We can unlock the bakery here so we can actually make those biscuits and those pies that we want. Okay, so basically we are going to need a lot of money. Let's sell all our copper ore. We don't need that. What else can we sell? We can sell our resin, at least most of that. Let's sell all of it, actually. Let's also sell our clothing. And then what do we need? No, actually, I forgot to check this. So in order to complete that, we needed 8 of those, so that's 2 more. We can complete that one already. And this is probably gonna go on the long-term to-do list because we're going to need 14 more, and I don't think we'll have enough for that. So once again, let's sell all of that. Let's sell all our clothing because we're making that by the dozen anyway. We can actually sell some of our flour, maybe. Well, actually, let's see if we actually need to do that. So we need 2 of those. And then I would really like the bakery. Feels a little bit counterproductive to sell our flour. We don't really need the planks. We're going to need 22. I'm not entirely sure if we can make that much. We are going to sell a lot of our stuff, aren't we? Might actually want to sell some of our fabric, even though we could make it into coats, which is more productive, but... Can we add that? No, we just need to straight up buy it. So we're actually going to have to sell most of our stuff. I really don't want to sell everything. Let's sell our bricks, maybe. There we go. We are going to need 22. Yeah, so we don't even have enough just yet. Okay, selling everything else, selling all our planks. And yeah, I think we're going to have to sell the remaining flour as well. Can we get that to turn green? Oh man, we are definitely throwing everything and the kitchen sink at the moment. We are still short. No, no, no. Okay, let's actually wait a moment. Yeah, let's not sell our fabric just yet because we are making our fabric into other stuff at the moment. There we go. Let's do this for now. We do need to keep an eye on the timing of our salesperson because he's not going to be there forever. Let's make sure we start working on this. Choose a reward. We want our... no, we didn't want our money. We want our tablets. There we go. That will give us a hit to resolve. but we should be fine for now. And then let's see if we can just wait this out. They are making 20 more clothes at the moment, so we should be able to sell those. Okay, and with 2 seconds to spare before he leaves, we should be able to now trade this and buy the bakery. There we go. And now I am pretty much out of everything, so this might have been a horrible idea, but hopefully we'll be able to counter the effect. We have nothing to burn, nothing to feed our people, so let's make sure we optimize everything and recover from this huge investment. So we were cutting it a little bit close with not having enough food, but we survived, and the Forsaken Crypt has now been completed. Now we still need our little dude over here to carry off the actual resource, so this is why it's not showing as completely finished yet, but we also get to pick a few new things. We actually have... No, we don't actually have new orders yet, but we do have a new cornerstone, so let's see what our queen is willing to offer us. We can either fit more people into a house, which doesn't seem all that useful, or, let's see. Every 5 villagers with the need for brawling fulfilled increase the chance of bringing back double the amount of goods from events by 20%. That seems very niche as well, especially considering I don't actually have that available. So let's just go for the crowded houses. I suppose at least we'll get some use out of that once we get more people. And speaking of more people, we actually do have newcomers waiting for us. Yeah, what do we want? I actually have no idea which direction to go. Well, I do have some ideas, but I'm inclined to go for the humans mostly, as well as for the harpies, because those will actually get their pies soon. Biscuits, sorry, not pies, biscuits. And that means that we should be able to push our harpies over the resolve threshold and make them very happy. Hopefully, maybe our humans as well. We'll have to find out. So let's go for that. We should have enough housing for that now, so that's nice. We do need to make sure we have enough food production, but with 2 farms and our bakery soon up and running, I think we'll be fine. Meanwhile, our plans paid off, and it's time to deliver some orders. So let's start with this one. One artifact, and we'll get some reputation as well as a new blueprint. Another 2 ancient tablets. There we go. That should solve our food situation. And then, of course, we had the clothing very easily fixed, and that should allow us to produce even more clothing, get some leather production maybe up and running at some point as well, and give us access to a huge amount of new blueprints. Now, I'm actually not going to spend any of those blueprints yet, because we are going to get new orders in 5 minutes from now, and there's no way to actually get our mushrooms at the moment on the map. So, speaking of which, we still need to cut to 2 more glades, cut through the forest to 2 more glades in order to complete this one. That will actually allow us to get the simple tools that we can use to maybe complete this event over here and get some more reputation. And from that point on, we actually need to know what our new orders are in order to make sure we can progress on this. And yeah, like I said, we are already making our people pretty happy, and we are mostly using the resource that we have. I'm just gonna wait out a few more minutes and see what happens then. Now our plan is really starting to come together now. We have our bakery almost up and running. Well, we have it up and running, which will allow us to make biscuits and pies. We already got a huge amount of biscuits when we just completed these orders, and as you can see, our people are now very, very happy. Our humans specifically are at 35, 36 resolve, which is huge. Our harpies are actually really happy as well, thanks to the jerkies and biscuits. Now, the jerky buff will run out at some point, because we don't have a huge amount of those. But for now, that will do. And because of that, we are now actually producing almost half a resolve per minute. And that's a huge bonus, considering we only have to produce so much of that in total. So, basically working like intended. This is not going to last forever, but for now it's working very well, and we are about to get a new set of orders. We are about to start unlocking some more glades and finish these off as well. So I think this is a very good moment to end this specific episode. I think next time around we're going to do something with copper as well, because we have all these copper nodes together over here, which should allow for a very efficient mine. Now we do need to take into account that we're almost at hostility 2. so we might want to deal with that in the next episode as well, because of course mining in combination with that debuff that we were going to get, which one was it? This one. This is active from hostility 1 on, which we already have. That will give our villagers working the mines -10 to resolve. So that is something we do need to take into account. But remember, the storm is not the entire time. The next storm is only going to be in 2.5 minutes. So as long as we take that into account, we should be fine, I believe. Anyway, one more set of orders done. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I hope to catch you in the next one.